Welcome back to the GAC Group 2015 ITTF World Tour Kuwait Open, which is a super series here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. I'm Adam Bobrow, and we are at the quarterfinals for women's singles. We're on the right side of the screen. There in blue is Hyowon from Korea. The Chopper had an outstanding year, an outstanding tournament at the Grand Tour Finals, losing in the finals to Kasumi Ishikawa. You can see her wincing in pain a little bit, her arm wrapped up there. Hyowon is world rank number 10, and her opponent in black, Xiaoxia from China, world rank number 3, both players 27 years old. Xiaoxia, the most modern Grand Slam winner on the women's side of the game. The most recent Olympic gold medalist for women's singles, also world champion. Xiaoxia, arguably the most celebrated player on the women's side of the game in modern history, following Zhang Yining. Hyowon, the defensive player, thrilling to watch. Varies her spin outstandingly well. Some of the longest rallies in the past 12 months of table tennis for the women's side of the game. Wearing the Let's Run shirt, Hyung Jung-hwa, national hero from Korea's brand. The power just incredible from Xiaoxia. We don't hear quite as much about Xiaoxia in the last year or so. Even still, a powerhouse, a force not to be reckoned with. She is number 3 in the world at 27 years old. So here we are in a best of 7. Hyowon to start us off with the serve, inverted rubber on the red side and long pips on the black. Strong power right into the body from Xiaoxia. Takes the first point, straightens out the necklace and the hair, pretty much everything. Miscalculated ball there. She goes for the top spin from the forehand side, trying to fish it back. Both players checking the light for their high toss serves. No time wasted in that point. Xiaoxia serve and attack, finishing quickly. If you can do that against a Chopper, power to you. It is not easy. Xiaoxia sporting the matching bracelet and necklace. Again, the powerful pressure from Xiaoxia, ending the rallies quickly. Going for a big ripping forehand. Hyowon just missing long on the short side of the table. No second chances on that. And the first 6 points straight have gone to Xiaoxia. It's a towel break if either player needs it. The first 6 points of the game still working in their sweat. The placement of that serve, both bounces right on the line. You can see the right arm of Hyowon taped up at the wrist and the bicep. Just missing long on the table. And this game is all Xiaoxia so far. And the deep push into the backhand side of the table, stepped around by When it's fast and deep like that, it doesn't allow a lot of time. Unbelievable. Outstanding recovery on the forehand ball, but Li Xiaoxia right back. And a little laugh, a little smirk. Not quite sure what happened. We're gonna see, is there gonna be a mercy point here? Looked like possibly an attempted mercy point. There it is. Not quite as subtle as the attempt before. Fast and long off the table. Now it's business time. 11-1, completely acceptable. And a strong attack from over the table from Hyowon. Not giving up yet. Deep on the table, hits the baseline with heavy underspin. A 3-point run for Hyowon. And the touch shot played short. It is 11-3. Li Xiaoxia convincingly takes game 1. Game 2, we'll see what changes just after this break. We're back for game 2, where Li Xiaoxia starts off with 1 game under her belt and the serve. Fast, flat, not long enough. Li Xiaoxia, just incredible step around and power. First 10 points of game 1. Very deceptive serve, looked like topspin. Caught just the bottom hemisphere of the ball. Almost recovers from into the body. Li Xiaoxia had to reach out to get that ball over the table. You can see her stretching out her shoulder after that ball. And the forehand chop with a bit of side spin has been effective for Hyowon against other opponents. She's got to get it on first. Li Xiaoxia so comfortable, the backhand spin shot. Hyowon, a favorite in Korea. Some people say it's the dimple. And there's a good look at that ball right near the net. Still took a lot of footwork to get in for that shot. Not as easy as it might have looked. Excellent play, wide cross court. Li Xiaoxia extension. Waiting on the forehand side, but still not able to make the shot. For a defensive player to have so many short rallies, especially on the defensive plays, very unusual. Li Xiaoxia completely in control. That was a bit more effective. Hyowon has had some trouble with the topspin shots on the forehand side. Fishing it back, keeping it deep on the table. But but that ball was nice and low and deep. Little break off the edge of the table. Both players have their wrists taped up. Women's game right near the table, very fast, requires a lot of wrist action. Goes for the inside-out forehand to the length of the table. First time in a while we haven't seen Xiaoxia taking the point outright. No way, Xiaoxia, just incredible. A backhand rip with her back against the ropes to get back into that point. Point of the match so far, for sure. It was that counter right there, the flat hit of Hyowon, that started this defensive play from Xiaoxia. And look at that backhand rip, but the point continues. Xiaoxia cannot be stopped right now. No one's gonna take away my point, says Xiaoxia. And now it's 5 game points for Xiaoxia. Step around, tries to play the short side of the table, but it's 11-5 for Xiaoxia of China to go up 2-0 over Korea's Hyowon. Game 3, just after this break. Excellent shot out wide to the forehand side from Xiaoxia to start off game 3, continuing her trend of being in control and a powerhouse with great placement. A very different attempt from Hyowon. Saw an aggressive forehand or two in that rally. Saw 2 of them, one after the other. High toss serve on the way, perhaps. Now these two have only played once before on the World Tour. It was in 2013 at the Qatar Open, which will be coming up next week. Make sure you're staying tuned for that. Interesting shot choice, holding the pose. Looked like the Wesley Snipes move from White Men Can't Jump. And that's a rare sight. The kicking serve comes long and is misjudged by Xiaoxia. Not so long that it was an easy ball to take comfortably. And that's the first point for Sa with an outright serve ace. Beautiful play to the short side of the table. We're seeing a lot of poses from Hyowon. I think it's just a chance for her to reflect. Taking chops from near the ground. It appears that she's varying up the spin, floating some back, but it's not phasing Xiaoxia. Beautiful shot, the power right at the body. Xiaoxia had a touch shot that she left up on the table. So Hyowon still able to reach it, but Xiaoxia just showing incredible agility and versatility out there. Big counter-attacking forehand cross court for the second point for Se. Again, head-to-head, Xiaoxia is 1-0 against Hyowon. Excellent inside-out cross-court, getting the forehand attack into play. The last time these two played, Hyowon took 2 games off of Xiaoxia. Big inside-out forehand, again playing the short side of the table. Xiaoxia not anticipating the location on that shot. Heavier and heavier. Every time you attack it, it comes back heavier. The ball keeps spinning. Deep chops, nice and low. So Hyowon settling into a rhythm a bit more. 5 points is the most she's scored in any one game so far. She's only trailing by 2. This could be far from over. The heavy spin shot again, it's loaded, and Xiaoxia miscountering. You can see Se getting a bit under the skin of Xiaoxia with these spinning shots, making it more uncomfortable for Xiaoxia. And again, heavy spin short on the table. That's a very difficult shot to lift on the attack. Xiaoxia going for it. And what a run. Now tied up at 7 points each in the third game. And the recovery shots from Se Hyowon right into the body, bringing her feet together and turning sideways to get it back. And then the wide follow-up from Xiaoxia still comes back. When you're forced to stand up straight like that in the middle of the point, it's very difficult to recover, but Se Hyowon made it look easy. Just long on those heavy forehand chops. She hasn't floated many. She's really been loading the ball with spin. Tied up at 8 each. Smart play from Se Hyowon. 2 attacks, realizes she should get back into the defensive game, and Xiaoxia is the one whose rhythm is broke. Quite a different situation than the first 2 games, leading 9-8 with a second serve. And a good look at a high third ball attack opportunity. Still not easy as it's kept deep on the table. Xiaoxia checking to see if the ball's broken. Some of the 40-plus balls still early in their production. Companies working out the kinks, but DHS delivering top quality equipment here, the ball sponsor for the tournament. Just missing the back edge. Se Hyowon has 1 more game point to get on the scoreboard game-wise. Timeout is called. Korean coach going to be talking to the defensive Se Hyowon. What's it going to be? Serve-receive game here. We saw an outright ace for the first point. Se Hyowon this game. Now, defensive players all have their tricks. To the layman, it might all look like defensive play, but Hyowon has a forehand from down near the ground that sometimes floats and has light underspin, sometimes is very heavy from the inverted rubber, and she often includes a bit of side spin on it, changing her placement well, uses the backhand, keeping it to the short side of the table. Now, most of these choppers at this level, world-class players, are going to read where their opponent is and try to really keep them running so they're uncomfortable with every shot, changing the trajectory. But we've seen not only trajectory, by the way, but placement change on the table. We've seen a lot more forehand attacks from Hyowon in Game 3. And now Xiaoxia has her second serve. 1 point away, 9-10. And Hyowon goes big for the attack, but just miss hitting it off the edge of the racket. And it's tied up at deuce in Game 3. Again, the aggressive strategy had been working well for Hyowon, did not in that point. Wider and wider, deep into the backhand. Xiaoxia forced to punch it back. What an intimidating counterattack. That serve was loaded with topspin, and Hyowon quick to step around and get her forehand attack into play. Tried to do it on the serve receive before. We'll see if she tries the same strategy here. Another game point for Suh. And the heavy chop deep to the backhand. She's on the board, 1-2. Game 4 coming back just after this break. And we're back for Game 4. Xiaoxia just lost a game after winning the first one very convincingly. Started Game 1 with a 10-0 lead, and now is only winning 2-1 against Hyowon, but takes the first point. Speaking of different secrets from defenders, those 2 chops off the long pips were fast and flat. Goes for the inside-out forehand to the backhand corner, just miss hitting. Hyowon about a step farther away from the table than she'd like to be for that shot. We've seen that point a few times. Hyowon stepping around the backhand corner, taking 2 forehand attacks in a row. Xiaoxia very comfortable with the block. But this time, Hyowon's spin, just too much. Beautiful shot. Xiaoxia fast into the backhand corner. Still almost comes back. That's the power we saw in the first 2 games from Xiaoxia. That was just devastating, finishing points in the 3rd shot. Opening backhand loop off the top of the net and out. An off-balance counterattack from deep in the court. You see how much kick that serve had? Just jumping out to the forehand side. The top side spin from the backhand serve. Xiaoxia calling for broken ball. No? No broken ball again. To withstand this much pounding from Xiaoxia. And Hyowon giving a pound of her own, just ripping through that ball from up high on the backhand corner. Deceptive serve. Not that high, but at this level of play, again, an inch is a mile. I don't understand. Just a crazy shot, so much power. There were about 3 occasions throughout that point where it looked like the point was over. Hyowon with a fast, flat chop. The finishing shot was really a finishing shot. Trying to get low and loop through that ball, catches the edge of the racket. Hyowon trailing by 2. Much closer game than the first 2. Seems it's settling in a bit, figuring out her game plan. A lot more forehand attack out here. And there it is, an unusual follow-through, somewhere between a fishing shot and a counter loop. Sort of closes on the ball, stays on top of it, and keeps it wide to the forehand. Again, the attacker cannot get too comfortable or stand too still playing against the defender. Heavy chop was lifted too much there. Xiaoxia keeping her left shoulder loose too. Again, so much strength to lift these balls. Both players keeping their shoulders from falling off. Beautiful shot, inside out, deep to the backhand part of the table. Enough pace, Hyowon not able to keep up. And after Hyowon climbed back to 6-all, Xiaoxia now has the lead. And their second serve. Just missing the back edge of the table. Head-scratching moment for our dimpled player from Korea. No timeouts left for Hyowon. There's the kick serve again. Xiaoxia slows it up a little bit, forcing to take an off-balance shot from a little lower with the backhand. She's not settling in. Several of the chops in the last several rallies, well, I guess the last shot of the last several rallies have gone right into the net from down low, and it's 4 game points for Xiaoxia. And that's it, 5 in a row for Xiaoxia from 6-6 to take it 11-6 and go up 3 games to 1. We'll be back with game 5 just after this break. A break off the top of the net to start off game 5. Xiaoxia takes the point. We haven't seen that before. The top spin serve from the backhand deep into the backhand court. Again, keeping it unpredictable, keeping Xiaoxia guessing. Heavy chop. Xiaoxia trying to just touch it back on the table, gets it into the bottom of the net. So Hyowon takes the lead in game 5. Break off the top of the net and it goes out tied up. Just missing long after an outstanding recovery from 1 foot on the forehand side. A chopper. Looks like a sword-wielding player. Heavy underspin from Xiaoxia that time. Little roll reversal. So Hyowon signaling that she tightened up, shrugged the shoulders a little bit, not really getting the body into that ball that she needed. Xiaoxia only has 1 game left to win this. Well, can win it with 1 game right here. So Hyowon, on the other hand, has 3 games to win before she takes this match. Trailing 1 game to 3. There's the Korean coach. Now 1-point game. Xiaoxia with their 2nd serve. Just too close up on the table. Well-placed shot right into the body, which forced the uncomfortable shot from Hyowon, left up high on the table. High and close to the net. Again, Xiaoxia earning that ball right near the net and then blasting it wide. Keeping So on 1 foot. Reaching, trying to cover her ground in the backcourt. Fast and long with underspin. The backhand motion very deceptive. Again, it's not always how much spin is on it, but how difficult it is for the opponent to read. This is the 3rd time checking. Xiaoxia 0 for 3 on the broken ball check. Congratulations to DHS Double Happiness for 3-0 against Xiaoxia in the game of broken ball or not. Spinny ball from down near the ground. That's a tough shot to keep low and keep topspin on too. And that was the side spin chop we were talking about from the forehand, but the follow-up, Hyowon just a little far away. Even if she makes that shot, Xiaoxia's got a lot of time to block it back. And no one home for that one. Hyowon predicting it cross court, steps around, and Xiaoxia plays it to the open side of the table. 2 points away from taking this match. Huge forehand, looks like it catches the edge, but the body language, guess it missed, went long. So Hyowon now facing 6 match points. Xiaoxia has the serve to take it. And that is it. Xiaoxia takes it 11 points to 4, 4 games to 1 over Korea's Hyowon to move on to the women's semifinals in singles here at the Kuwait Open. Stick around because after this we've got an exciting match coming up. It is the men's singles quarterfinals with Marcos Freitas of Portugal versus Zhang Jike, Grand Slam winner from China, just after this break. Stay tuned.